Hi, it's Ellie. So I hope you're having a good week. And in this week video, I wanted to share a little bit more about my story, my leadership story, and maybe explain why I think moving to Canada changed my management style. So for me, leadership started a little bit more than 20 years ago. Yeah, I know. And the first team, my first team was actually a team of 3. And I think I was 24. And very quickly, when I turned 26, I had to manage a bigger team and actually manage a team of 10 individuals. And it was a little bit of a struggle because, first of all, I was quite young, and then you just on board for like a bigger department, a new responsibility, a team of 10. But also part of that team was coming from another company that we had acquired, so they had a different culture, and also some of them were older than me. So at that time, I thought that in order to establish my management position, I had to be very strong and strict and extremely professional, but focus on result and KPIs and targets and all the things that we had back then to measure the department. And I was always very polite and fair, but I just thought that don't show any weakness, don't be friends with them, because otherwise, if it doesn't go well, you will have problems to realign them with them. And so I thought, okay, I have to distance myself. So there was basically in my head, there was the boss, me, and there was the team. And like, you're there, I'm here, and that's it. And for many years it was like that. And when I turned 35, I moved to Canada, and I started to realize that in Canada, we are actually very tolerant, and we believe that diversity is a good thing, that being different is a good thing, and we believe in being kind and human to each other. And I started to first see that outside of work, in my life. But then I realized that mentality and that culture was also but also part of the workplace in Canada. And I started to manage in a different way. So I started to open my mind to the fact that I had a team with different skills. I had a team of individuals that had different story, different backgrounds, some of them coming from completely different countries. So some of them having different perspective on what is required in the job, so completely different culture, for example. And so I started to really open up to the human aspect instead of opening up to instead of continuing to be, the boss that is very distant and pushing the team, but fair, but strict and strong. And a few years after, so I started to open my mind to see the differences in my team and be more human, I would say, more connected to the team on the human level. And a few years after, on the project that I was working on, I had to build a team in the US. So I had become, by then, in charge of North America. So I had to build a team in the US, a team of young individuals, and manage them from Canada. And all those individuals were hired without me choosing them. So I got really lucky because all of them were really extremely talented and still are extremely talented individuals. And so I started to really see them and be amazed by the diversity of my team and my ability to really use their strength, their individual talent to make us stronger. So we really get the concept that it's not me and you, it's actually all together, but you have so much, everybody has so much to offer and to bring to the team, that this is the diversity and the differences in our team. The different talent is actually what's going to make us succeed. So we were really into this spirit of, we're building something fantastic, it's new, we're doing all together, and let's brainstorm, let's use the talent of everybody to really move to the next level. And that's at that point that I started to look into coaching, because I realized as a manager, if I wanted to get the best out of this team, just giving advice or just being me was not enough. I wanted to really use the power of coaching, and I wanted to really help them think by themselves. I wanted to help inspire them into action and really grow them as individuals. So that's why I started to learn coaching, and I did my coaching certification on the side, not on my own, not from the company, but on my own, to really, from a desire to be a better leader, a better manager for my people. And I realized like this was really, the more I was coaching them, the more they would grow and become amazing. So I think my take on that is, I completely see now the difference from where I was 20 years ago, thinking that I have to push my team, I have to make them do the thing, and they have to work for me somehow. Although I was always kind and polite and very fair, I had this idea in my head that there was the team and there was me, but we were separate and a little bit distant. And if you see now 20 years after, I completely integrate the fact that if you really want to motivate your team, first of all, you have to look at it and see all the individuals that you have in your team. You have to really see them. You have to really know them. You have to connect with them on an individual level. You have to use coaching also, so helping them. So what I mean by coaching is really helping them to find their own solution, having the desire to really ask them to think about something instead of you always giving the direction or the answer to all the problem. So it comes from a place of I want to grow them, because the more they grow, the better we are all together. So I want each individual in my team to really, if they like to learn Excel, if they like to do something different, okay, how can we use that, and how can we grow your talent into the team so we can all benefit from your special skill, and combine that all together. And that's what I'm doing right now with my coaching and the leadership coaching that I do on the side, because it's for me the desire to help developing a new generation of leaders. I think in big and large corporation we have too often the impression that we have to be, as a manager, as a leader, and have to be strong, and we have to push the team to deliver result and performance and KPI, where actually the best you can do to get the result is to have a happy team. Like, happy managers will create happy teams. If you're a manager and you're motivated and you're connected to your work and you know why you're doing it and how responsible you are from your team, you're responsible for this team. You have to understand that you have the human being in your team, and they kind of depend on you to really make something great and help them to do the best job they can. They do the work. You have to provide the space for them to really do the best job they can do, and use their talent and also have fun in their job. So that's what I'm doing, and I hope that you can connect with that. If you are a young manager, I know that sometimes we want to really establish our management style from a place of strength and being, strong and a good leader, but I also invite you to open up a little bit to your team. Be clear on your boundaries for sure, but we're not going to become best friends with everybody in the team, but I think we can see each other and see the value and the qualities of each other, respect each other, and go together in the same direction. So if you have a new leader, I hope that helps. And if you are managing new leaders, I hope that you can relay this message to them to give them a little bit of motivation and maybe some advice. All right, I'll see you next week. Bye.